Although capitalism and free enterprise have proven to lift the quality of life for many in our country and all over the world, lately many young Americans clamor for socialism over capitalism. In some cases, they basically define socialism as simply sharing. Well, I'm all for sharing, but critics note that socialism involves the force of the government. It isn't sharing that is practiced. Instead, it's forcibly confiscating property from one citizen to give to another citizen while charging a hefty administrative fee in the process. Does socialism impact religious liberty, charity, the value of life? Here are some insightful remarks from Dennis Prager of PragerU and from the late Dr. Walter Williams. He was a professor of economics at George Mason University.
The moment you tell people that the community will take care of you, they work less. It undermines character. The big state undermines character. I gave a speech at the University of Wyoming, your viewers could see it on the internet, called Socialism Makes You Selfish. The American ideal is I take care of me, then I take care of my family, then I take care of my community. The socialist ideal is the state takes care of me, the state takes care of my family, the state takes care of my community. Americans give much more charity per similar income than Europeans, because Europeans were raised with the belief, I don't have to take care of my neighbor, the state will.
I think people don't have enough of an appreciation for our values. And if you're a conspiracy theorist, you would think that this has been designed, that is, to undermine the greatness of our country. To say, well, gee, capitalism or the market system is oppressive and we need socialism. And the people who make such an argument for socialism, they're never demanded to show cases where socialism has been successful. And some people will even say that, well, look at Denmark. That's what Bernie Sanders says. We want a system like Denmark. And the Prime Minister of Denmark, a couple of years ago, he said that we are not socialists. That is, we have a free market system. But at the same time, they have a significant welfare program. So socialism, no matter where it's been tried, has been utter failure, and socialism is responsible for slaughtering more humans than any other system in the world. That is, if you look at Germany, which was a socialist system, the Socialist Workers' Party, that's what Nazi means, they're responsible for 20 million people being slaughtered. The Soviet Union is estimated that 45 million people, and Mao Zedong is 40, some people say 40 to 60 million people slaughtered by their own government. And so socialism just does not have a very good record. And if you look right now, there's Cuba, there's Venezuela, there's Argentina, which at one time at the turn of the century, or last century, was the 9th richest country in the world. And today it's 25th or 26th, and because of socialism.
There's a book out, I'm happy to recommend, I didn't write it, called Erasing America. And that's exactly what is happening. The American past is erased except for the isolated, awful moments. So kids today are learning how bad America was, but they're not learning that every country had slavery. Every country killed indigenous people, because everybody who made a country often killed the people who were living there. I'm not excusing it. I'm just noting a fact. Where America differed is in its goodness. Badness is universal. Goodness is relatively unique. It's like poverty. Poverty is universal. So to say, it would be stupid to say, well, look, Americans were poor. Of course, everybody was poor. But America made affluence. America created affluence because of capitalism. Capitalism created affluence, obviously in England and then in America. But capitalism, that's why capitalism is great. Capitalism makes affluence. Nothing else has ever lifted people from poverty. Nothing. And so what other country other than the Judeo-Christian Britain, United States, etc., these were the countries that abolished slavery. Muslim countries had as much slavery, African slavery, as Western countries did, but they didn't abolish slavery. There isn't a kid in an American school who knows that.
The book that Dennis Prager mentioned is Erasing America, Losing Our Future by Destroying Our Past. The author of that book is James S. Robbins, Ph.D., who has written a lot for USA Today. In a TV interview with D. James Kennedy Ministries, Dr. Robbins was asked about the risk for a nation that whitewashes its past. He answered, quote, "Well, the risk is that you will have people who do not understand the basis of what this country was founded on. As Ronald Reagan said, freedom is always one generation away from extinction," end quote. And that's why we do what we do at Providence Forum, so that more Americans can understand the Judeo-Christian roots which helped create America in the first place and the freedoms we enjoy. For Providence Forum, I'm Jerry Newcomb.